You know, when people are talking about a good burger, they're talking about the meat and they're talking about the bun. But then they go home to make the burger and they buy the same plain old shitty bun from the store. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm here to put an end to that. A bun is arguably the most important part to a burger. You know, besides the meat, of course. But let's be honest, without a bun, you've got nothing. And a bun is super easy to make. You don't need a fancy mixer. All you need is a sturdy spoon and a large bowl. So let's get started. Okay, first we're gonna wanna bloom our yeast. Grab a cup of milk, about 90 degrees. And you're gonna wanna dump your yeast in the milk. Give it a stir. Then you want to set this aside for about 15 minutes until you see some foam. Then you're going to want to grab a large bowl and about 3 cups or 400 grams of all-purpose flour and 10 grams or 1 tablespoon of fine sea salt. Give it a whisk, set it aside. Now you're going to grab your yeast mixture and crack in 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk. You're going to want to keep those egg whites. You can save them for your next omelet or something. Give it a whisk. Then you're going to want to add in 20 grams or 2 tablespoons of honey. You're going to want to dump all those wet ingredients into your flour. Make sure you get all those goodies in there. This is where you grab your sturdy spoon, or in my case, your spatula. Give it a mix until you get a shaggy dough. And then you're going to want to add in about 20 grams or 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. You can use your spatula to break it into smaller pieces as you bring it in. It'll make it a little easier to get incorporated in your dough. You're going to want to dump it out onto a lightly floured work surface. Use your bench scraper, make sure you get everything scraped clean in your bowl. Don't want to leave anything behind. So to begin the kneading process, you're going to want to bring it in and fold it out. Bring it in and fold it out. Just keep pressing in with your palm. There's no scientific method to do this. You just bring it in and fold it out, bring it in and fold it out. Repeat that process for about 7 to 9 minutes. Once the dough feels like it's starting to fight back, then you know you're starting to build some glutens and it's looking pretty good. So you're gonna wanna do this process until the dough is relatively smooth. You want it to be sticky, but not so sticky that it sticks to your hands. If the dough is still a little extra sticky, don't be shy, you can add some flour. Lightly dust a little bit at a time. Once your dough is relatively smooth, you're going to want to roll it into a ball and tuck it in tight underneath itself and want to continue to get it into a nice tight ball. So you're going to put the dough ball back in the bowl, tuck it in for a nice little nap, and then you're going to cover it over with a towel. And yes, that's a Christmas towel. It's Christmas time, okay? Leave me alone. Once your dough has been fermenting for about 2 hours, it should be about double its size. You're going to want to roll it out onto a lightly floured work surface, roll it into a log, and you're going to want to divide it into 8 equal parts, about 100 grams each. You're going to want to use a food scale for this. You don't want to have uneven balls, do you? You're going to want to weigh out every chunk of dough and get your 8 laid out. Now it's time to shape your balls. So take your dough, lay it down smooth side down, and then you're going to want to fold over the corner and tuck it in, fold over the corner and tuck it in. You're going to want to rotate it around and continue that process all the way around until you have a nice tight little ball formed. Then you spin it around seam side down, roll it in your hand until you get it nice tucked in and nice and smooth. Then you're going to want to repeat that process for all 8. If you're not necessarily very good on the first one, that's okay, you got 8 more to practice on. Once you've got your 8 dough balls formed, you're going to want to lay them out and then proceed to play the drums on your balls. This is a very, very important step. So lay them out onto a lined bake sheet. You don't want to space them too close to each other. These balls are going to expand in the proofing process and in the oven. So you're going to want to pat your balls down so they're more disc shaped and not round like a sphere. Then you're going to cover those suckers over with your Christmas towel for one more little nap. And it might not be a bad idea to preheat your oven. So after about an hour, your dough balls should be about doubled in size. You can mix up 1 full egg and lightly brush your buns with egg wash. Then you're going to sprinkle them over with sesame seeds. You don't have to do that. I like sesame seeds, so that's the way I do it. You can do whatever you want. So they're going to go in the oven for about 16 minutes or until golden brown. Then take them out of the oven and set them on a cooling rack. So now that we've got buns, it's time to make a burger. Real quick, we're going to chop up an onion. If your cutting board is sliding around on you, just take a piece of wet paper towel, fold it up and place it underneath. Chop up your other half of an onion. Preheat your pan and melt some butter and dump in your onions. A little bit of seasoning, a little bit of pepper. So for a quick burger sauce, we're going to chop up a pickle. Get a little dish and put in some mayonnaise. You can make a mess here. It's your kitchen. You make the rules. And by the way, I find the sauce comes out a little bit easier if you open the lid first. Just a little FYI, in case you didn't know. Put in all your ingredients. At this point, you can really use anything you want. I like to keep it simple. A little bit of mayo, a little bit of heat, a little bit of crunch. So, grab your bun, cut it open. It's time to start the beef. We're gonna go for a little smash burger action here. Take a little ball of beef, smash it down. over and melt your cheese. You can cook as many of these as you want. I'm going to cook an unnecessary amount because, like I said, it's my kitchen. I make the rules. Just take a second and listen to the sizzle. You see how easy that was? That was pretty easy. And I tell you what, way better than those shitty ones at the store. And it only took like 10 minutes of effort. So I guess if you like this video, or if you learned something, hit the like button, or maybe even consider subscribing. Until next time, peace.